Netflix has another hit series on their hands with Wednesday, and that's just kind of my off the top, but do we trust that they're going to give it a season 2? Let's talk about the show and then break it all down.
Jones Vibes.
What's up everyone, and welcome back to Jones Vibes. If you're new to the channel, I do movie and television reviews, and it's a beautiful thing. And today I am so dang excited to talk about the new series Wednesday, based off the character from the Addams Family, a Tim Burton project starring Jenna Ortega as Wednesday Addams. I'm going to be giving my star rating at the end of this review, so make sure you stick around. And there's also going to be a picture of Thing placed strategically in this review, so comment when and where you see it. But first, I just got to come clean, and I just want to let you all know, I think I'm going to end up being this series' biggest fanboy. I don't know. I freaking loved every minute of this show. I grew up watching the Barry Sonnenfeld movies, The Addams Family and The Addams Family Values, and they're just kind of near and dear to my heart. Also, Christina Ricci as Wednesday Addams was one of my first crushes. That says something about me as a person, I think. But moving forward and on to Jenna Ortega, I have talked a ton about Jenna Ortega this year in particular. I've talked about how massive of a year that she's had, and at this point, after this show, I think she deserves to be called an icon. I'm just saying it because this performance sealed that deal, and in a Hollywood industry, a movie industry that's filled with actors and actresses that are coming and going, I think that she has proved that she is here to stay, and that she really is kind of a once-in-a-generational type talent. And I don't think that I'm alone in feeling that. There's a lot of other people that are kind of echoing this right now, and we're seeing it in the numbers and in the results. Wednesday has now broken the record for hours watched in the opening week. I think the record was held by Stranger Things Season 4, so that's a huge deal. And that also has me stoked because that probably means a Season 2, and hopefully 3 and 4. But as we know, Netflix kind of has a habit of canceling shows, even if they're super popular. So let me know down in the comments what you think. Personally, I'm a bit nervous, purely because of how much I like this show. But with all that being said, let's dig into Wednesday. So the overall feel and aesthetic was just on point. I think we can all agree that if you're a Tim Burton fan, you're gonna like this show. But I will say it's different than anything that I feel like he's ever done. It's television. And with that, he's a master at world building, so he brought that to life within 8 episodes. After we finished the series, I was telling my wife that it's like a place that I started to miss. And that's how I know that I really liked something. That when I finish it, I just want to go right back to the beginning and start it again. Hit the like button if you feel the same. And the casting was fantastic. We had Catherine Zeta-Jones as Morticia, we had Luis Guzman as Gomez, Christina Ricci as only and specifically Marilyn Thornhill. Then we had Gwendolyn Christie as Principal Weems, and of course Jenna Ortega as Wednesday. And let's talk about her a little bit more. She was the perfect choice for this role. I loved the outfits and the specific themes and music for her. I thought she was hilarious in kind of this depressed, outcast, goth, homicidal maniac type of way. And she was spooky, not kooky. She also never blinked, which apparently was an intentional character trait that Tim Burton gave her. But she embodied it, and she created this fabulous new character that we'd never seen before. A completely new iteration, too. Like, there were times that I kind of saw a little bit of Christina Ricci in there, but she really was her own. And the show in general almost gave me like Sherlock Holmes vibes, which I totally didn't expect. I don't really know what you do expect with the Addams Family, but yeah, it's not what I thought it was going to be. All of the characters were so mesmerizing and detailed, and that also, there's a huge credit that should go to the writing team. And I'll also say that the young actors and characters were phenomenal. I connected to them. There was Tyler, the sheriff's son, Enid, the roommate, who really grew on me throughout the show, to be honest. And then there was kind of the other love interest with Xavier, and then the popular rival with Bianca. And this show somehow balanced high school drama with murder mystery and fantasy just really well. It almost felt like a really badass goth horror take on Twilight or something like that. And after all these years still, I just want to put out there, Team Jacob all the way, Edward's a chump, bro. But yeah, there's these sirens, like mermaids and werewolves and secret societies and supernatural things. The show was just so confident in its voice. And for me, it was just so out of nowhere. I think you can't talk about this show as a whole without referencing the dancing scene at the Raven. It was iconic and it was just a vibe. I think that's what people say. Jenna Ortega also mentioned that she was coming down with COVID on that day of shooting and she didn't really know yet. Apparently she stayed up for like 2 nights in a row because she had to choreograph the whole thing herself, and so she was binge watching influential videos. She said she watched some like early 90s grunge videos as well as videos of the Banshees, and it did have this cool like punk rock feel to it along with her dress, but then it almost had like this Monster Mash type feel to it too. I think the song was called Goo Goo Muck if I'm not mistaken, but then that leading straight into the scene where the entire crowd is covered in red paint that's just, you know, supposed to be kind of blood looking. It just made that scene in particular stick out to me. I thought it was really, really well done. And that's a lot to handle, like learning all these dance moves. She also had to learn cello, she had to learn fencing. Like that is just a lot for one role. And I almost forgot to mention Fred Armisen as Uncle Fester. He kind of felt a little bit underused, like I was hoping for more. But with that being said, I mean, I loved him in this, and I hope that we just get a ton more of him in season 2. The two of them riding that motorcycle was hilarious, and I don't know. Fred Armisen is honestly just one of my favorite comedians. He's one of those SNL cast members that I didn't pay that much attention to. I think I was kind of just checked out of SNL at the time. But then Portlandia came out, and Portlandia, that's one of my favorite shows. And then Thing, just like The Hand, was super fun to see, but also used very well. It was fun to see him kind of as like a helping hand, no pun, throughout the entire plot. It was very clever. And then the score from Danny Elfman. I'm not sure if you noticed that Danny Elfman was composing this show, but I certainly did. He's been a longtime collaborator with Tim Burton, and so I was hoping that he was going to be attached to this show. But yeah, he did all of it, and it was fantastic. I think that has a lot to do with that immersive feel that you get when watching this show. But I will ask a question. What did you think of the new Addams Family? We've talked about Wednesday, but what did you think about the mom and dad, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Luis Guzman? Also the kid who plays the younger brother, Pugsley. I thought he was great. But personally, I will admit that the only one that really stuck out to me was Luis as Gomez. Raul Julia was just so damn good in the original. And it's just really hard to top that performance. But I ended up coming around to it quite a bit. And everyone else was fantastic. The other actors included. It was so nice to see Gwendoline Christie just kind of as herself. I feel like she's always playing some different sort of role, but in this she was just dressed up fancy. And then there was Christina Ricci. And I'm going to get into some spoilers here. So if you haven't seen the show, you've been warned. But she was the villain. And I was kind of expecting it, but the show did a good job of keeping me guessing the entire time. Yeah, I guess that adds to the themes. It was kind of like a whodunit, too. Gosh. This show is awesome. But yeah, she was Laurel Gates, and she's a blood relative kind of passed down from Joseph Crackstone, who she then resurrects from the dead. And so you have that. The resurrection from the dead, you have the supernatural mixed with Tyler being the monster, the Hyde. It just made for an awesome finale. Like, they even go so far, like, Wednesday gets, like, stabbed and stuff. I was like, oh! It kept me on the edge of my seat, and it was kind of epic. I can't wait to just watch it again, because I feel like I'm gonna get even more out of it. But with that being said, what do y'all think? Do you think we're going to get a season 2? I know I've already mentioned this, but Netflix does. Like, they do have a habit of just canceling things, and I don't know, it's happened. But with the numbers that it's done already and the fan reaction that I've already seen happening, I just don't know if they could justify canceling it. I really think that we're gonna get a season 2. And as soon as that announcement is made, you can bet that Jones Vibes, this channel, is gonna be going wild. We'll call it Jones Vibes Gone Wild. But yeah, personally, I'm dying, no pun, for a season 2. And segue into my star rating. Out of 5 stars, I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars. 5 Jones Vibes stars. I know, he can't do that, can he? Well, he just did that. But like I said, I am very curious to know what you thought about this. Please go ahead and leave your comments and questions below, and feel free to engage, and also hit that like and subscribe button. If you're new here, I have a ton planned for my subscribers as well as for this channel. and a like goes a long way to show me that what I'm doing is right. So yeah, that was Wednesday. But anyway, I hope y'all are safe, happy, and healthy out there, and I'll be seeing you next time.